3, 2, 1, and we're rolling.
Good evening, everybody.
Ooh.
Or good morning. Who knows?
Good afternoon, good evening, good night,
G'day.
good eye.
Oh, blimey.
I remember thinking from a very young age, this is how distracted I was during baseball, that every time you would take a pitch and they'd call it a ball and they'd go, good eye, Ben, good eye. I always thought it was like, good eye, Ben, how are you? Good eye, Ben.
Good eye. Good eye, Ben.
And before I knew it, I'd swing and miss and the at-bat was over.
Did it hit you in the eye?
No, I still had a good eye. Still had a good eye. Do you know what your strike sound would be? Have we talked about this? Wait. What did you do?
I was hitting the ball. Oh, wait, no, strike.
Strike, like...
I was thinking like a strike in bowling, like I hit them all.
Right.
That's confusing.
Very confusing. Your strike sound is a fun thing to think about if you were the umpire, because they always do it differently. The most direct way to do it would be to go, strike, to just call out strike.
Okay.
But the more typical thing that you hear is the guy goes, ha!
Like a pirate?
That's right.
I just go, I don't know.
You go, there's a good one, mate, right down the middle. Should have swung at that one.
You idiot. How'd you miss that?
Hey, bloke, what are you looking at? Perfect pitch. There's another one. Two down, Potter.
That probably sounded great if you're listening.
Very plosive. Well, folks, at the moment, we're using mics that cost, somewhere less than $10. So who knows what that plosive piece sounded like. There's a chance your eardrum just burst. I'm sorry about that.
Why don't we make another, is it a plosive sound for the can? Is that plosive?
That's a good question. I always thought of P's and B's as plosive. But
maybe it's fricative.
It probably is fricative. I'll tell you, it's pretty friggin' exciting that we got a Coke over here. I'll tell you that for free. Should we do DC, CZ? What should I
do? Do a CZ. Why not?
CZ. We're living on the edge, folks.
It's true.
Liv, would you mind holding the microphone?
Yes.
And why don't we go right into the intro after this? How about that?
Okay, let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Oh, blimey.
Oh, blimey.
Got a name?
No.
Got a theme?
No.
Got a song?
How about...
So... Oh, yeah, that's good, CZ. That is...
There you go.
Coke Zero for all you folks just joining the show.
Coke Zero.
And there is a difference. And you know what? I've been thinking it, and I'm just going to settle the controversy. We love a Coke Zero. We love a Diet Coke. But we really like a Pepsi Max.
We do a PM.
A PM in the
Dude.
AM? Oh, my God.
And that's about as exciting as it gets.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of different rankings. I mean, we could talk about this all day, but I think if I remember correctly, we concluded that the number one is a PM from a can. Number 2, I think, was a Diet Coke out of a bottle in Mexico or something. Isn't that what we thought?
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was...
Oh, Diet Coke from Mexico is number 1?
No. PM was number 1, but I think that didn't matter if it was from a bottle. I think Diet Coke specifically tastes better from a can.
No doubt about it.
And then, get this, we went to McDonald's and other fast food places getting Diet Cokes to see which one was the best.
Chipotle's Diet Coke takes the cake.
Chipotle wins.
Yes. For a lot of reasons. I think I like the food there more than I do at McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King or whatever.
We love Chipotle.
But we love Chipotle. And then the fountain Diet Coke there, it ruled.
So good.
Now, that's the other crucial difference, though, is the fountain.
True.
Because I think the folks, someone write in to tell us if this is true, but I think the folks working at the fast food chain regulate the amount of syrup in the machine, which is, I think, why they differ so much.
That's a big variable.
And whoever was working at the Chipotle in Indianapolis on 86th, you know what's up.
It's true.
Give that person a promotion.
Medal. Oh.
Or a medal. promotion would probably go a little further. A medal, they're thanks.
Okay. That's true.
Cool, congrats.
Exactly.
Well, folks, we've been up to a lot of things. We haven't recorded in like 2 weeks. We've recorded 2 episodes. The plan was to record every other week, and having them come out the following week. So they'd always be recorded about a week in advance.
Mm-hmm.
But this time around, I think we had an extra rehearsal or something. Whatever it was, we didn't record.
It's been pretty busy over here.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. We've got two
musicians.
We've got 2 new musicians who've joined us on board.
Yes.
And they are an absolute dream.
Truly.
They are the perfect combination of prepared and kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in this industry, for all you young ones out there, that is the secret recipe. If you are prepared and kind, it'll take you a long way.
It's the best.
And they are exactly that. So, though we've had extra rehearsals, it has been really, really smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And so much fun. They're really great energy on stage with us and in rehearsals and just all day whenever we see them. They're just lovely people to be around. So it's been really nice, but also really, really busy.
Yes. Yeah, it's a strange one on a ship because you can feel like you've done so much, and then you look back and you go, oh, it's actually nothing. Like on land, it's not a big deal. But on a ship, going and doing your laundry, that can take hours.
That's your day.
That's your day. Particularly if someone decides to, oh so kindly, remove your clothes from the washer or dryer and you have to hunt for them. Particularly wonderful if they take them out of the dryer and they're not dry. I don't know who these people are.
But we will find them and we will kill them.
It's true. And I think we would be supported in this by many people.
Yeah, it's very frustrating doing laundry on board. I'll tell you, let me start with this. It's awesome that the laundry machines are free to use.
True. Yep.
And I think it's fair enough that they're free to use, but you provide your own detergent. And if you use dryer sheets, that's all fine. The thing that's so frustrating is, like Liv said, people decide when your stuff is done washing or drying. They decide for you, which you think would be convenient. But they're very bad at knowing when it's done.
And also, if you open the dryer before pausing it, the dryer breaks. And although that is written everywhere,
mm-hmm.
I think there are so many dryers elsewhere that you can just open the door. So I don't think it's people being deliberately destructive.
Right.
I think you just naturally, you go, oh, I'll just see if it's dry.
Right.
And open the door. And it doesn't immediately break every time, but that does cause the machines to break. Yes. And so how many machines are there?
Let's 21? See. If there's, I'm trying to think. If there's about 2,000 crew, I think there's 3 laundry machines. No. I think that's right. I just looked quickly, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. There's signs also. I read one last time we did laundry. It does say, pause the machine before you take stuff out because it'll cause an error message. But then it said the reason the error is such a problem is because it resets every machine.
Oh my goodness.
Which really ruins just everybody's day.
Do you remember
we were the worst thing.
We were on a ship a couple of years ago and management or someone or I don't know who, but they used too much water cleaning the ship because there was some inspection going on. So they used all this water to clean down the floors and the sides and the windows and who knows what, because, there's not enough water anywhere. No, you can't use the seawater, I understand. But then we were on a ban for when we could use the machines.
Yeah.
Do you remember, we were like, so I'm sure there's less than 25 machines.
Yeah.
For however many thousand crew.
Mm-hmm.
And then they limited the time you could use it for, I want to say, I don't know if it was as long as a week, but it was a while.
It was the Royal Rumble, folks.
You could only go between the hours of 6 and 6:45 in the morning. I'm not even kidding.
People were lining up at 5.
Yeah.
It was awful.
And then in the evening, there was another 45 minutes window where you could get your stuff in the washing machine. And that was wild.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I might have it written down, actually, how long.
I do remember thinking, when that happened to us, we are so lucky that like just the day before or something that they implemented that rule, we had just done laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they lifted it, we definitely needed to do laundry again. But it was like, I can't imagine if like the day we were about to go do laundry.
That'd be awful.
I don't know what we would have done. I guess we would have just camped. You know what I mean? We would have just waited and fought for it.
That's true.
But it just, it's such a nightmare. People were lining up and like here's the thing that's tough about lines on the ship. Something you might not realize is that there's often reasons to line up. Maybe it's your laundry. Maybe they're about to open up the mess and people have a tight schedule. There's plenty of times where you get in a line, but there's not really an infrastructure for lines.
No.
So you'd have like this really goofy line of people up the stairs. And I mean, not for nothing, that's a fire hazard.
That's true. That is a fire hazard.
So it was just chaos. And
Which, if you listen to our first episode, you'll know fire. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal on
big
board.
Big deal on a ship.
If you're in a fire for 25 seconds, you're going to go unconscious. 30 seconds, you're look dead. The same. You look the same, but you're dead.
Yep.
Or whatever you said. Goofy,
whatever it was.
Nutcase.
But yeah, that's, I forget why we got onto that.
Laundry. What the heck were we talking about?
Oh, it's been a busy week. I was going to say.
Yes.
Sometimes just doing day-to-day tasks that you would do on land take all day. I mean, we're pretty lucky where we live now in the ship. We're just a couple of floors above where the laundry machines are. But if you live on the other side of the ship, that's a nightmare. It's
a nightmare, especially if you lug your stuff all the way from the back of the ship. You get there and there's no machines available.
Yeah.
I guess you just bring a book. That's something. Here's an idea. And I mentioned this to Liv, but I wrote it down. I think it would be, I would take, first draft thought, I would take one bank less of machines in exchange for a couch and a coffee machine.
You want less machines?
I'm saying I would take the exchange.
No,
I would.
No.
In the laundry room, there is no room to stand. It's also where you iron your clothes, and there's just, you can't walk in there without bumping your head on something or getting in somebody's way, saying sorry 1 trillion times. And I'm saying I would take one bank less, believe it or not, of machines.
Okay.
If there was a couch and a coffee machine and you could just camp there.
I would
spend the day there instead of having to commute, if you will, back to the mess or back to our room.
I would also like then. I want two of those rooms.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If there's one each end of if we're really redesigning the ship, go on, give us 2 laundry rooms, front and back, bow and stern, if you will.
For all you sailors out there, bow is the front of the ship, and stern is the back.
Yeah.
All right.
If they had 2 rooms, with less in them, but a couch and a coffee machine, I'll do someone else's laundry for them. That's
a great compromise. 2 laundry rooms, each with half as many machines as the current room has, and just put a couch in there. Put a couch and a coffee machine.
Just give us more machines, man.
Not to get too in the weeds, but the question would be, how much money does it cost to put in a coffee machine and a piece of furniture versus how much does it cost to run in energy? 5 or 6 per bank of machines.
Or get machines that don't break every time you open the door. How much money do they spend fixing them? We've spoken about this for too long.
Yeah, is anybody still listening? If you're still listening, we're going to change topics now. For your sake and for ours. I realize there's pretty much nothing less relatable than the laundry machines on board a cruise ship.
How are the Phils doing, Ben?
They're not doing great.
Oh,
let's come back to them. Let's come back to that. Let's move on. They're doing better than they were last time we spoke, but they're not doing great. Shout out to Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, though, because they went back-to-back recently, and that's pretty cool.
Good for them.
Kyle Schwarber, if you're listening, if you'd like to sponsor a pod, or if you'd like a 27-year-old bat boy, I can be available. I can start tomorrow. I can. It'd be very difficult to get there, but I can do it.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, if you're sick of bat boys just sitting down and not telling you observational comedy all game, Call me up.
Can have a little earpiece.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be
Whispering little stuff.
so fun. Christopher and I were both talking about that last time we were watching the Phillies together. We saw the Bat Boy come on the screen briefly, and Chris was like, "I would do that job."
Christopher, your brother.
Yes. Oh, sorry, brother's Christopher. Chris and I were both saying we would love to do that job. It would be odd, I think, in like a decade when all the players are like 20 years younger than me. But right now, it would be awesome. Jump in, take batting practice. They go, Bat Boys don't usually do this.
Bat Boy.
I go, Bat Boy is a musical. It was at City Center a couple years. Where'd everybody go?
Nice.
All right. Let's talk about some crazy guest experiences we had recently because, as I said before, folks, there is no shortage of them.
A favorite, I think, of mine. We do a show in the main theater. It's a tribute to the Eagles, not the sports team.
Yeah, it's not for the birds, dude, but it's still good.
But the Eagles. And we, as the singers, run into the audience at the end, and we go up. There's a path for the stairs, and we leave through that exit, which is sweet. We get to be up close and personal.
Yeah, people get all excited, and
they don't normally like singing along, and it's really fun. So everyone's kind of the vibe being everyone's standing up and singing along. It's the last song. It's a reprise of a song we did earlier on, so it's a lot of fun. And then I look over, and there's this guy just sat there playing Solitaire on his phone. And not just a phone. It was one of those phones that folds out. So it's a double size.
Dork.
Solitaire.
Dork.
And I'm just singing right at him. He's paying me no attention.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing with any sort of interaction with that, like with any sort of guest that's not doing what you would expect, is I often then will look around and other guests are looking and laughing, and that's always a fun moment for me to have with those guests.
Yeah.
Just to laugh at the unoblivious.
It's the best because they're all going like, "What is this? What is this idiot doing?" That just happened to me the last performance of our tribute to the Eagles show. We're singing "Already Gone," and as we're singing that, two guests like got up and walked past me. I'm standing on the stairs. Singing into the microphone. It's clearly part of the show, and they're like, "Excuse us," and everybody gets a kick out of when you wave to those folks as they're leaving. They're all like, "Yeah, whatever, good riddance," which is fun.
It's so funny to me. It's when we announce we're doing our last song, there is always people that leave, and I think, where are you going?
Yeah.
You got to move the car?
Right.
You're on a
traffic?
Yeah. We're going to beat the traffic. No.
I don't get it. It's also like it's going to save you 5 minutes. Because even if you're like, yeah, we got an early morning, it's not like you're getting in a car, like you said. It's not like you're really beating any traffic. You're going to bed 5 minutes earlier. And if you're like me, if you get to bed 5 minutes earlier, you go, I have 5 more minutes to play a game on my phone.
Solitaire.
We can watch TV for 5 more minutes, and then I'm up for an hour and a half. Yeah.
Solitaire on your phone that folds out.
Any card game is probably better on.
I was just being funny.
I don't get it.
Because the guy was doing Solitaire.
Yeah.
On his phone. Oh, I thought you'd find that funny. Let's just cut that bit out.
We're going to start recording now. And we're rolling.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened recently that I wanted to bring up is I mentioned before that I love seeing a stereotype in the wild. Cracks me up. And we had the guy that I referenced before was like full-blooded Italian, and he talked like this, dude, and he used his hands a lot, And this guy came up to us. He was like a family. There was like 6 or 7 people that were cruising together.
Oh, yes.
And he had the thickest Louisiana accent. I don't know exactly which. Folks, write in if you know what I'm talking about. He sounded like Foghorn Leghorn. He really did. He was like, I saw y'all on the breakaway, and I knew when I saw her that I'd see him as well. And I thought it'd be funny to ask, where are you guys from? And he was just like, Louisiana. And I said, yeah. I definitely knew. Sorry.
I figured that.
But they were sweet. They were very complimentary. And they actually had photos of us from our first contract when they saw us, which was kind of a trip to see. But they recognized us. And then did they see us on our second ship or just the first and then came back to this one? Do you remember?
I think they saw us on the other one as well. I'm not certain.
Yeah, they all blend together, folks.
I forget.
But
they were really sweet. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah. They came to all the shows and they they just were very supportive, but it's so funny hearing them talk and not calling it out is so difficult for me.
Every time I saw him, he went, "Hey, we're here," as if like it was a
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I figured you didn't leave because it's a cruise.
I know, but it was sweet.
Yeah, nice folks. And speaking of nice folks, we've got some questions from the listeners. And why don't we get right into it? I'll tell you something right off the bat. Shout out to Jared Bakum, dear friend of ours, who had absolutely nothing useful to suggest on Instagram. Jared, if you're listening, try again next time. He did ask one thing that I think was a joke, but is worth answering. You know what? I'm gonna humor you, Jared. He wrote, and this is a quote: "Do the low ceilings on the ship ever interfere with your above optimal height?" I'm going to stop you right there, Jared. I think my height is optimal. But he asked if the low ceilings were ever a problem.
Yes.
Yes, constantly.
Yeah.
Absolutely constantly. In fact, I
will say they're not that low.
True.
For a 5'3" gal, they're not low. But if you've got your guitar on your back,
can't be done.
He hits it on things all the time and then is surprised.
And I go, God. Yeah. So that's a problem. In the venue, the ceilings are low enough that I can't really jump.
He can't do his standing backflip, okay? He's very sad about
which I can do.
Yeah.
But I don't for safety. But that's about it. So, Jared, that was your only useful question. The rest of your questions were obscene. So, we have another question. Who is your favorite person to work with, and why is it Kelsey Schrader? Now, folks, you might not know this, but Kelsey Schrader submitted this question. Kelsey is the first singer we ever worked with.
Yes.
And we love her dearly. We also think she's nuts.
In the best way.
Yeah. And who is our favorite person to work with? Why is it Kelsey Schrader? I think she's our favorite person to work with because there's no shortage of stories.
That's true.
And there's no shortage of conversation to have with her. She's always down to gab.
Point being, we still voice note every week. And these voice notes are miniature podcasts.
Yeah, 20-minute voice notes with the hottest goss on the high seas.
Yeah, all the tea for the seas.
Now, Daryl, let's get to your question first. Daryl asked, he's got two questions.
Okay.
First one, how do you keep your shows fun and passionate each week while doing the same songs and scripts? Well, I'll tell you, they're not fun and we have no passion.
No, that's a really good question because actually I get a lot of guests come up to me and they say, oh, you guys look like you're having the best time. There's no way you can be faking that, is what they say to me. And yes and no. I will say there are definitely times that we don't want to go on stage. And that's not because we don't love our job. We do. But for various reasons. You might be feeling sick, or you might have had some really bad news, like just human things. Or you might be really tired and you just think, God, I just don't want to go out and do this today. But I think we are so lucky that the music that we are singing is so fulfilling. I'm sure you can agree. It's
totally,
it's for Ben and I, this is now our third contract. And some of these songs we have sung every single time. It'd be interesting actually to figure out how many times we've probably sung these songs. But because it is so great and it's the right side of challenging where you still have to be thinking about it. You still get those moments to show off, if you will.
Well, I think it's just the right side of challenging. I fully agree. Like, there's always something that you can be working on, and there's always something that will force you to rise to the occasion. It's not the show is hard enough that you can't really fake it.
Well, it really matters if you're there or not, because there's only 4 of us singing.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, we're all on our own harmony line.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you pair up with somebody, but even then, it's not for a whole song normally.
Yeah, it's interesting. Those moments stick out.
Yes.
As, like, for lack of a better term, like boring musically.
Sure.
I think anytime we catch ourselves on the same part as someone, immediately my reaction is, oh, one of us is wrong.
Yeah.
One of us should not be doing this. And then I guess the whole point of that is that in an arrangement, then as soon as you get to unison, it's really impactful.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen a lot. So that's one way to keep them interesting or keep us passionate, is that you really have to hold your own.
Yes.
And what you bring to the show is very unique. And so there's like a sense of responsibility to do that. But I think another huge part of that is the audience. Like, specifically fun and passionate is like 50% us, 50% the audience.
Yes.
And I think there's times when we're passionate, but we're not having that much fun because the audience isn't. And not that they have to, do anything for us, but it's just like you can tell when they're in the mood to have a good time.
Yeah, and that keeps you on your toes as well. When especially if you've got a rowdy crowd.
Totally.
You just have to be so aware of everything that's going on. And Dario, I mean, you've seen so many different casts of Sid Norman's on your travels. I'm sure you'll agree. All these shows, even though they're the same script, they've all got their own flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how I deliver a line is going to be so different to how another girl on the same part as me on another ship is going to be saying the line. So it's, I think that's fun. You always, I mean, we joke around a lot. Most of what we say is scripted.
Yeah.
We tend to go off script sometimes.
I think gauging the audience and seeing them enjoy a song for the first time is inherently fun.
Yes.
It's very fun to do that. And part of the fun, too, is that, like, we've rehearsed enough and we've done this enough times that it's more like, I can't wait to share with you what's coming up next.
Yeah.
Like, if you like that song, you're going to love hearing what Liv does next or something like that. That's very fun. And I think the passionate part, how I stay passionate, is I keep thinking how good this is for our voices.
Yeah, that's true.
I keep thinking about how valuable these reps are at this difficult music.
Mm-hmm.
I joked with our other singer, Christian. I was like, no score is scary anymore. Because, like, obviously that's an exaggeration and it doesn't really mean anything. Like, what do you mean by scary? But it's just like,
this was such a mammoth task.
Yeah, this was so scary. Like, I remember rehearsing one of my solos specifically before our first contract in the basement at in Annapolis, going like, I can't do it. Like, I can't hit these notes.
Which song?
Smoke.
Oh.
And Smoke from a Distant Fire. And when we started rehearsing Rock and Roll Band, I was like, I don't know how we're arranging this because I can't sing a verse and a chorus of this. I can do like half of a verse. It's just too hard. And
that was me, Just a Girl.
Absolutely. Like, and there's plenty of moments like that. So then when you get to rehearsals in Tampa, when you start working through the arrangements and you rise to the occasion from enough reps and enough practice, I get really passionate about how far we've come as singers. And
That's
I get
great,
excited.
yeah.
I get excited to share that. So I guess that's an
that.
answer to your question. We
What's
sort of
the
went all
second
over the
one?
place. Oh, and I should say this. Part of your question, too, is the same songs and scripts. There's a lot of fun to be had when a joke in the script does not make anybody laugh. That cracks me up. So all that to say, it's like a win-win. If everybody laughs, it's like, oh, great, they all love that. If nobody laughs, it's like, oh my gosh, can you believe nobody liked that?
That's something I love about performing, specifically with Ben, but I think we've been lucky that we've worked with fellow performers who also find it funny in that, as you say, if you try a joke and it doesn't land, full, what's the word? You're allowed.
Full permission?
Permission, thank you. Full permission to laugh with that performer.
Yeah.
Audibly onto the mic. Like, what was that?
Yeah, and it's weird because that's never happened to me.
Never.
Anyway.
It never happens.
Yeah.
But actually,
Happened
that
actually
makes,
a lot yesterday.
but it was brilliant because we were like, keep going, go on.
It's interesting. I mean, you get a small taste you get a small taste of what it's like for a stand-up comic to bomb. Right before the very last song, we just say, this is our last song, and we talk about the rest of the schedule. And on last night's show, it was my turn to say the goodbyes. And being the egotistical person I am, I wanted to insert some joke that I thought, I can't believe we aren't all doing this. I had a very sobering reminder that my sense of humor is not everybody's.
We thought it was great.
Yeah, I bet you did. My supportive wife. But on our last contract, I would often say, well, folks, this carriage is turning into a pumpkin. And it got
Hold for laughter for our listeners.
Right. Stand back up. I imagine a lot of you fell over. It would get a huge groan or just a groan was fun because it's just like, you can play off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Silence, hilarious. Just so funny to me. And it's funny because it's just like, it doesn't really matter. But I can imagine a stand-up comic is like, well, I have to quit.
Well, that's their whole job, of course.
Right.
I just think it's so great if you as a performer can laugh at yourself and be like, well, that didn't work. Anyway.
Totally.
And it helps if you've then got fellow performers just, giving you all the banter.
Yeah.
It's all said with love.
That's the difference. If there was any sort of malice in the group, it would be very uncomfortable, but we're all laughing with each other. It's
Which we've experienced. I won't say any more.
Yeesh. Okay, Daryl, your other question. What do you miss about living on land? Well, there's
a dryer.
A lot of things.
That doesn't break when I open the door.
Proximity to the laundry machine is pretty great. And I don't think this answer will surprise you, but cooking. I really miss cooking. Mm-hmm. And
do you ever miss driving?
Sometimes. I don't miss paying for gas.
That's true.
But I miss being able to use a commute. Mm-hmm. I say the word commute pretty lightly because this is our job, and we don't drive to the ship. But true. Like driving to the gym or driving to an audition or something, I miss being able to put on a podcast or music in the car.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing we miss is like family events.
100%.
That's
the biggest one. I think
monumental.
The day-to-day thing we miss, or at least that I miss, is cooking or like things about, being autonomous in your own home. Mm-hmm. But the overall thing that stinks is not being around family or missing things or coming back and seeing photos of everybody hanging out, birthdays.
Gatherings. Yeah.
That stinks.
But of course, as soon as you're on land, you inevitably start to miss things about the ship. You suddenly go, the gym was a 5-minute walk away.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to pay for it.
Right.
And yeah, the food wasn't what I always wanted, but
it was always there.
It was there and it was free. And that's pretty great.
Yeah, I remember missing Indian food for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
When we got off the ship. Because I was just like, how do I get tikka masala?
Oh, or the Indian food on the Encore was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, shout out to the Indian section from the buffet. That was always top notch.
The buffet was just so much bigger on that ship. That's why it was there. Sorry, introduce us. Go on.
No, I interrupted you. It introduced us to papadums, to tikka masala, to paneer.
Speak for yourself, right?
Introduced me to tikka masala, to papadums, to paneer, to carrot halva,
in
to
England,
naan.
In England, we have a lot of Indian restaurants, and they are fantastic. But it was great having it on the ship.
Yeah, you said Indian food in England is kind of like Mexican food in America. That's
how I've compared it to like the restaurants.
Yeah.
When you're driving around, I feel like it's comparable.
I think both work.
You say comparable or comparable?
I say comparable.
Comparable. Was that good?
That was tremendous.
Thanks. Great. Yeah, I hope that answers that question.
Now let's get to Pete. Pete, our beloved photographer and close friend. Pete asked, his message was in all caps, podcast question. If you had a quantum leap style time machine, in parentheses, look it up, kids, and could jump back into one night of your past performances and experience the whole thing again from the inside, the energy, friends, the crowd, everything, which performance would it be?
Oh, Pete.
I have no idea. The one that comes to this is tough because I only clearly remember the most recent ones.
Are we talking about Sid Norman's or are we talking about any performance ever?
Oh, geez, good question. Let's answer both.
Okay.
Let's start with Sid's.
Okay.
I think so. I can only really remember the ones that were recent, and in recent memory, I'm so sorry, Christian. We had a '90s show performance, then so drunk that Christian was sick for, and the irony of that was that though we were one singer down and kind of stressed about it, the audience was like incredible.
The audience were
They were
fantastic.
singing along. They were singing along to the background music before we started
Yeah.
the show. They were like so in the mood to party, but they weren't disrespectful. They were like, it was
they just
exactly what
loved
you
it.
want.
They were a great audience. That was my birthday.
That was the day of. Oh, of course it was. Yeah.
So you're welcome.
So thank you, Liv, for blessing that performance. Yeah, I think that's the one that comes to mind immediately. But I can remember sort of a lot of the feelings. So if I really want to use that quantum leap machine, whatever the heck that is,
Yeah.
to its full potential, I'd want to go further back to something I can't really remember as well.
Yeah.
Like maybe our first show ever.
What was your first performance ever? Like as a young kid?
It was actually kind of traumatic.
Oh,
Here
we go.
Here's a deep cut. Deep cut. This is when I was in preschool, when we graduated preschool. Sorry, I got to back up some more. The preschool program was in the high school that I eventually went to. The kids that were like taking some sort of teacher focused course or like were interested in becoming teachers, I guess. I think that's how it worked. They led the preschool program. And so we graduated preschool and we did our graduation ceremony in the high school on the high school auditorium stage.
Oh, wow.
For just our parents. Like it wasn't like I bet if I went back and could quantum leap to watch that, there was like 50 people there. But you had to sit on the stage and with the microphone, you would say to the person next to you, like if you're next to me, I'd go, "Hello, Olivia, how are you? I see someone next to you," and then I'd hand it to you, and then you would sing that. Petrified. I had crippling stage fright, and I can't remember exactly what I did, but I definitely did not do that. I think I held the mic and I think I said hi or something like that. I was mortified.
Oh,
And I guess you can call that a performance.
I don't think you want to go back to that moment. Don't use your quantum leap for that moment.
No. What is anything coming to mind for you?
I would want to go back to first time I did Kinky Boots.
Oh, sure.
And just because I remember thinking this was in London, and I remember thinking at the time like you need to take this all in because this is only going to happen once that you have your first performance on a West End stage. And I remember standing there and trying to really take it all in, but the reality is, as I said before, any performance is a performance, you know? So it's you still experience the same feelings, I think, when you're doing anything new, whether it's a small audience or a big one, or if it's, you know, a show you've been doing several times. If then we have someone in the audience that we know, we have a different feeling to that than, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think the feelings are that different, but I remember trying to think, I need to make sure I remember this. And the truth of it is, I probably don't. So maybe I would go back to that one and relive it, maybe watching me. Maybe I'd want to see it from a different perspective rather than my own.
That'd be interesting.
Like a little fly on the wall.
Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah, a lot of performances, I'm trying to think of what was the most like joyful experience. And I'm not gonna. I've told you this before. The majority of the shows I've been in were more stressful than enjoyable.
Did you say Margaritaville?
Margaritaville was pure joy. Shout out to the Arrow Rock Lyceum Theater. Shout out to the cast of Margaritaville. From curtain up to curtain down, that was such a joyful time. Rehearsals were so fun. They were so quick, and I feel like by the time we opened the show, the cast was already working. The ensemble was already working on learning the next show. So it's just like I felt like I just slipped in there for 3 weeks of pure fun. And like Margaritaville, the show, it's very goofy. I think of it like the new and improved Mamma Mia, and I know that's very controversial. I realize a lot of people aren't going to like that.
Ben loves Mamma Mia.
I do love Mamma Mia, and I love Margaritaville. I think it's so smart, and I think it's so sweet. But it's like all about friendship. Friendship's like a huge theme, and that made for a really joyful show.
I guess similarly,
Drunk.
the Eagles show that we do now.
Yeah.
I feel like it is so joyful when we see the audience singing along and joining in. And it is one of those moments I wish we had more interaction with the audience. Like I know we ran out into the audience at the end.
Mm-hmm.
This is one I'd said before. I kind of wish it was more of a thrust stage. So you'd have like a catwalk in a...
fashion show?
No, I guess, yes, but more like when you're at a concert and the performers come right up into the audience. I think that'd be so cool with a show like the Eagles because people love them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested how my parents find the show because the Eagles have not been a huge influence on our lives. I knew some of the songs. I think my mum and dad know some of the songs, but I really hope for them it's an audience that is loving it because they'll like just being around that vibe will be so much fun. But I think similarly, there's that word. You said the fans of Jimmy Buffett were
so passionate,
yeah,
and so devout. Like people showed up to that musical. This is a musical called Margaritaville, and we are in nowhere, Missouri. One guy showed up with his license plate that said Parrot Head on it. People were singing along in the audience, which was actually really, really fun, but it's difficult when so on board we use in-ear monitors, so you can block out a lot of the extra noise, and you can really stay focused a lot more easily. Most regional theaters, I would probably venture to say 99% of them don't have in-ear monitors.
Yeah.
So you're like fighting with the room sound a lot. I remember more than one performance, but the first time it happened was during the song Margaritaville, which is the end of Act 1. And it starts the same way that the song sounds when Jimmy Buffett sings it, just acoustic guitar. And I started singing, and people got like ahead of me. And I had to bite my tongue from talking to the audience and being like, the arrangement changes. Like, you're throwing me off here.
Wait a second, folks.
But it was just so fun. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so let's bring this back. Let's focus this. So Pete, to answer your question, one performance to go back to. I might say the last Kinky Boots.
Yep.
Our closing night of Kinky.
On the ship.
Or I would say, I don't know, maybe my first job out of college was the John Denver show called Almost Heaven. And I got to go on once. And that was kind of a blur. But that was on my birthday.
Birthday magic.
Birthday magic. I don't really remember any of that. Maybe I'd want to see that one. Or relive that one. Mm-hmm. That's a really difficult question,
That
Pete.
is.
Pete, you're no longer allowed to ask questions. That was too difficult.
He's kidding. Answer. Ask as many as you like.
What about you? What's your final answer?
I think it would be that first show of Kinky Boots. Or even my first show as Nicola. That actually, I went on as my cover. I was the second cover, which meant that someone else ahead of me would have gone on for that part. But this is when we had like 11 people off sick. And so she was already covering another part. So I then got to go on for my track. And it was before we had a cover run. So I hadn't actually rehearsed all of it before. And that was kind of crazy.
Wild.
I'd done some of it in rehearsals, but not the whole show. So that would be fun. Also, I'm trying to think about my first ever performance. I think it was a similar thing technically. Mm-hmm. We did a Christmas show when I was in nursery, but it was attached to my secondary school that I then... Why are you laughing?
I'm picturing you in a nativity play. Being like,
I was
baby Jesus gonna be born tomorrow.
I was an angel. I never got to be Mary.
Oh.
My sister got to be Mary.
Yeah.
If Martha's listening, she also got to play Annie. I didn't get to be Annie.
Unbelievable.
I know. No, it's fine. I would...
Relive that one?
I would make my sister be the dog in every musical whenever we'd play musicals at home. So she would be Sandy in Annie. Or she would be Molly, which is the youngest orphan.
Oh. Does Molly have a famous line?
She might do. I can't remember now.
Oh, I'm Molly.
No.
That must have been her.
That's you're right. How could I forget that? Or she would be Toto and I'd be Dorothy. There was a similar theme.
Yeah. Here's a question. Does I haven't seen, I guess, Quantum Leap's a movie?
I have no idea.
I thought that was funny. I'm pretty sure it's a movie.
Is it Quantum Solace?
That's one of the
James
reboot
Bond?
James Bond movies. Quantum of Solace?
I don't know.
Which is just...
Quantum Solace. Quantum.
Here's a deep cut for any YouTube folks out there. There was a guy on YouTube whose handle was Golden Tusk, was his name, and he would take movie themes and he would add lyrics to them. And I loved them. I watched them over and over and over again. And he did one for James Bond, and the lyrics, he would go, lock your door, watch out for 007. And I loved it.
007.
Now, I didn't know it was a reference, so at the very, very beginning of that video, he was pretending to be the villain, and I guess he started off as James Bond, and he was like, what do you expect me to talk? And the villain goes, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to sing. And then the song started, and he was like, I can't remember all the stinking lyrics, put me on the spot, but... Hey, if Golden Tusk is still out there, I haven't looked up his YouTube profile in, honestly, 15 years. But I loved those videos. He did James Bond, he did Back to the Future, he did Batman, he did Superman, he did Halloween, which I remember watching the most because it was like the fastest lyrics. Because you know the theme of Halloween is...
That must have missed me.
Well,
Halloween, Halloween.
it was
Like
it was Halloween night 1963 in Haddonfield, Illinois. There would be a gruesome case of sibling rivalry between kids in the Myers family when Michael, a 6-year-old, leisurely walked into his sister's room quietly. And without getting too violent, the next line is what Michael did, which is he murdered his sister. But
I feel like you've been waiting a long time for that moment right there.
It's from the vault. I have not thought about those videos in a long time, but
yeah. Okay.
except for yesterday when I watched them all.
Practices every night.
It was I love those stinking videos. I thought they were so creative, and I thought they were clever too. And I didn't know those themes, but that's how he did one for. Did he do one for Jurassic Park? Whatever it was, he did loads of them, and I just remember thinking it was really cool. So if you're still out there, there's a 27-year-old on a cruise ship named me that still thinks about him and hopes you're still singing. Although, I don't know how old he was when he made the video. This is not important. Quantum of Solace is one of the nude James...
Nude?
One of the
nude James Bonds?
Folks.
Any more questions?
Well, I want to just clarify. I don't know if the Quantum Leap style machine would mean that we have the knowledge we have today.
Oh wait, Quantum Leap isn't that from Ant-Man?
I have no idea. Does he says something about quantum physics?
Yes, he does the Quantum Leap. Pete, we need your help. What's it from? Are you referring to Ant-Man?
No way.
No, they do a Quantum Leap in the Avengers.
I swear Quantum Leap's a movie.
Or
a TV show?
I don't blatant know. But
I ain't got a foggiest, mate.
A clue.
Hold on. I'm going to Google it.
Should we pause?
No. Quantum Leap It says cast. This is a TV series. It's a sci-fi series. I bet some people listening to this are probably going nuts. The fact that we don't know what this is. Science fiction series about a physicist, doctor. Oh, geez.
Sorry, I just dropped something.
Who gets lost in time, leaping into different people's lives to correct historical mistakes. Oh, that's a great idea for a series. But so he does have the present knowledge when he goes back.
Okay.
So if we had the present knowledge, that does change a lot of things. But that would make me want to go back to maybe like our first office run of Kinky Boots, knowing that we ended up getting married.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
Knowing like that there's 3 different couples in that cast across an ocean that ended up getting married.
Yeah, how about that? 3 different couples, American and British, and all 3 of us have now got the one visa or another.
Oh,
all
that's
3
crazy.
couples have made it work.
That can't happen a lot. That's got to be a crazy statistic.
That is nuts.
Yeah. Well, Pete, thank you for a terrific question. A very difficult one to answer, but a terrific one nonetheless. There's a couple other things I wanted to bring up on this pod.
Okay.
We just finished season 1 of Yellowstone.
Good. How have we been talking this long and haven't spoken about Yellowstone?
It's great.
It really is.
It's also very interesting. I think the characters are great. I will tell you this. The reason I was interested in watching it personally is because my sister Allie recommended it to us. And sometimes Allie and I have similar taste. So I was like, okay, if I ever have a chance to watch it, I should, knowing it has Allie's endorsement. I told Allie that we started watching it. And Allie goes, I am Beth. Now, we didn't see the series when she said that. So I was like, I guess you're Beth. Folks, if any of you watch Yellowstone, you'll know that Beth is a mentally unstable alcoholic. Beth is a wreck.
But maybe she changes as there's more seasons, right?
Yeah.
And Allie will have seen them.
I suppose.
I don't think she's referring to season 1 Beth. I don't know. I don't know though. Allie, you got to tell us.
Here's the other thing. Al, I'm going to call you out. Allie likes to watch shows by listening to them while she's on her phone.
She's often working.
She's often working. No shame. She's a business owner.
Yeah.
She hustles. It's awesome. But it does mean that when she watches shows, she's hearing them secondhand while she's putting together Instagram posts, so she has no idea what the show's about. So I think she might not know who Beth actually is. I think that's possible. She goes, I'm totally Beth.
You don't know that. We need confirmation.
Maybe Beth becomes a wedding photographer in the second season. Beth goes, you know what? I'm sick of working for this bank.
That would be such a turn.
We go, oh, Allie was dead on. She's literally Beth.
Do you know what I was thinking actually? The character that I'm so pleased is in there, but I don't quite know why yet. I've now forgotten. Is it Jimmy?
That is one of the characters.
The one who's like in pain from sitting on the horses?
Yeah, Jimmy is a new addition to the farm, or to the ranch, pardon me. And he just goes through a lot of growing pains to fit in.
Yeah, but I think that's so interesting to involve a character like that who's not currently directly involved in any like particular controversy or drama, really.
Right.
It seems at the minute as if just to see, you're seeing a character who is new to this ranch, and I don't want to give anything away, but I guess is experiencing. Actually, I guess it's a really good tool for a viewer because you're getting to experience these things as he does.
Totally. Yeah, it's the voice of the, or it's the perspective of the viewer. I suppose if the main plot is Dutton and Rainwater fighting against each other and like arguing over the land, but then the subplot is Jimmy.
Life on the ranch.
Yeah. And through Jimmy, the audience gets to learn of all these traditions of how things work. Yeah. That's a good point. I guess you need Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about this now. You can't have a version of Jimmy where he's like a great hand on the farm. You need someone who needs things explained to them.
Yes,
because the audience needs them explained.
Because there's nothing worse than watching a TV program or film, and they're like, "But you're my mum,"
Right.
and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
You can explain that in a million different ways. You don't have to say, "But we've been friends since." 18th of June, 2021. I don't know.
Come on, Jimmy. You should know this. You've been working here for 14 years after your parents died in that terrible accident.
That's such.
Why do I always have to remind you? And you go, oh, thank you. Now we all know what happened to Jimmy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's such a better way of doing it. It's good.
Yeah.
But we've been watching it on the Crew TV. I can't remember if we said this on the last episode or not. But that's a good perk of being on a ship, is that we have a certain amount of TV episodes and films that are provided to us on the TVs in our room. The difficulty is we don't have any control over said TV shows. So when a season comes up, and it was a full season of Yellowstone, we're like, okay, watch it quickly, because then next month, hopefully they'll put season 2 on. But there's no guarantee.
Yeah, and you know what? Watching it quickly is not really difficult for us. We're not really a once a week episode couple. We're let's do 5 tonight.
And then be tired tomorrow.
And let's hate ourselves for doing it tomorrow, and then do exactly the same thing tomorrow night.
Because it's so good.
And then, well, here's my thing, is we finish a show, and then I am just itching to talk about it. I'm itching to find someone who watched it, and I go, what do you think's going on? What do you think why do you think you did that? I don't know if I like this bit. And the irony is, it's usually about a show that came out 10 years prior to when we saw it. And they go, you guys just watched Yellowstone? You mean the show that's had 2 prequels already and finished 5 years ago or whatever?
I know. Anyway.
Yeah. I have on here some recurring bits we can just do quickly. How are the Phils doing? Not great. End of bit. Career update. Had to do 2 different self-tapes this past week. And we could talk about how to get those done on a cruise ship on another episode. The short answer is it's not easy. But it's a lot easier when you have the most supportive, helpful wife of all time.
I paid him to say that. It's okay.
Not enough, I'll tell you that. She's my
sweet.
director and cinematographer, and she deserves a paycheck. That much is true. So we recorded those tapes, and tomorrow I have to do a Zoom callback from the ship. Another topic for another episode.
That'll be your first one. So actually, let's pencil that in for next episode. Let's talk about self-tapes on a ship, because you'll be able to say how your Zoom audition went. Yeah. Which is the first one.
Yes. Well, actually, here's a little, I don't want to call it foreshadowing, but some insight. The first time I had a Zoom callback was actually on our first ship.
Was it really?
Yeah, I had a Zoom callback for the Book of Mormon tour.
Did you?
Yeah, I was so excited about it because I was dying to do that job. But the Wi-Fi cut out when I first got into the Zoom room, and they didn't want to try to reconnect.
No.
Yeah, I got on there and I was like, "Can you guys hear me?" And they were like, "We can kind of." And I said, "Oh, let me just try this." And then it cut out. And then I quickly texted my agent. I was like, I just cut out, but I tried to reconnect, whatever. I think it should be working now. And she said, I think she said, like, let me try to reach back out. And they had moved on. They were like, it's too tight a day. Or maybe, I mean, they weren't like cruel, but maybe they were like, this probably isn't going to work. We'll come back to you if we can't find anybody today or something like that.
Why do I not remember that?
I mean, it was 10 total minutes, you know.
Oh,
I'm sure
my
it was
goodness.
quick enough that I tried to forget.
Yikes. Well,
Didn't.
Didn't. But this time around, you have tested.
We tested the Zoom.
And the internet is different on this ship to the other ones.
Yeah. Shout out to Starlink for being stronger Wi-Fi. And shout out to my agent for taking the time out of her day to do a test Zoom call to make sure the connection worked. So, yeah, we'll come back next pod with an update on that. Great. Folks, this CZ is nearly done, and so is the pod. I hope you enjoyed... we didn't even say the name of the stinking show.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of Ships and Gigs.
Wait. I've got to do a joke.
What am I saying? Oh, false ending.
Kidding. You actually didn't say any sponsors that you want. A real quick sponsor.
Oh, my goodness. Joke. We're only at an hour. A lot of pods are longer, so it's all right. This will be longer. So some ad spots for sponsors that we wish we had. I'm still going strong with Cellucor, creatine, and Alani Nu pre-workout. I absolutely love it. I use it religiously for every workout. And actually, I'll tell you this. I took a little Alani Nu before our last show because I was feeling pretty tired. And we had an awesome performance. And I'm not saying it was because of the Alani Nu, but I'll tell you, I think it helped. If nothing else, I'll tell you this. I'm one to say I have a really high tolerance for caffeine. But if nothing else, it tastes delicious. And the dopamine hit that made me feel more energetic was palpable. So shout out to Alani Nu and to Cellucor Creatine. Those are my ad sponsors this week.
I already said about vitamin C, didn't I? Oh, I'll have the paper cow. It's this Chinese herbal syrup goodness thing.
Nin Jom Pepacoa.
Nice.
And apparently that's referred to often as paper cow because that's how Americans say Pepacoa, paper cow.
Oh, is that real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's why we started saying that one. I forget who told us that, but someone I believed.
But it's great. It's a nice like syrup thing and helps with vocals.
Herbal formula, herbal dietary supplement with honey and low quat.
Not high quat.
But low.
You might think that was the joke, but it's not.
It's not. It gets better.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Are you ready for this?
I am ready. Go for it.
What did the pirate say on his 80th birthday?
I don't know. What?
Aye, matey.